But if you look at this, Meghan Markle has been incredibly quiet about the birth, but mostly the pregnancy of these children.
Meghan Markle has remained noticeably quiet about her pregnancies and the births of her children, a silence that critics say has only fueled speculation.
Everything has been shady. The one who's been blabbing and saying crazy things is Prince Harry.
Why would you do that? That's not necessary.
When she recently stepped back into the spotlight with an emotional onstage story, the reaction was immediate. The internet began comparing timelines, and inconsistencies quickly surfaced, casting doubt over what was meant to be an authentic comeback moment.
Timing is extremely odd, and the story is somewhat confusing, but I think we have to cover that.
For someone who claims ownership over her personal narrative, Meghan's story appears to shift with every major platform. Each retelling feels like a revised edition, carefully adjusted for maximum emotional impact, leaving audiences unsure which version reflects reality.
We would have to do a way deeper dive on that and see if there's more footage and pictures that are available, but you would anticipate.
This time, the contradictions didn't go unnoticed. Candace Owens seized on the inconsistencies, questioning not just the story itself, but the pattern behind it. What might once have been dismissed as a slip now felt more consequential.
Put up a camera, fixate it, and then both of you start twerking. Because in her mind, she was thinking, I'm going to release this later in a Netflix doc, or release it later to show people how relatable I am. Otherwise, you can have a cute moment with your husband without recording it. Like, why would you record this for any reason? Why would you record this in the hospital?
What began as a heartfelt recollection of childbirth quickly unraveled when viewers compared it to earlier interviews. Dates shifted, details changed, and the tone transformed from raw experience to polished presentation, prompting accusations that the moment was more performance than confession. Critics argued that motherhood, a deeply personal experience for most, had been repackaged as branding. The story no longer felt sacred, it felt strategic, another chapter revised to fit a carefully managed image.
And you're wondering, why does her age matter at all? Because her age would also have an impact on her ability to have children. Because if Meghan Markle is 4 years older than what we have been led to believe, it makes it even more difficult to believe that she was able to get pregnant so quickly.
As scrutiny intensified, attention turned to Meghan's age and its relevance to the timeline she presented. The questions weren't just personal, they directly affected the credibility of her narrative, amplifying doubts about what audiences had been led to believe. Digging deeper, online investigators uncovered deleted posts, vanished blogs, and missing photos. What once looked like vulnerability began to resemble a pattern of revision, with inconvenient details quietly erased. When the same story was replayed against older footage, the differences became impossible to ignore. Settings changed, timelines blurred, and what should have been consistency instead reinforced suspicion.
When I was just 11 years old, I unknowingly and somehow accidentally became a female advocate. A pivotal moment reshaped my notion of what is possible.
She claims that she was 13 years of age when she started to work for Humphrey Yogurt, in spite of the fact that Humphrey Yogurt has said that they have never employed anybody aged 13.
The moment crossed a threshold from personal storytelling into what critics described as PR theater. The timing, coinciding with a broader rebrand, made the changes feel intentional rather than accidental. Candace Owens' involvement transformed the controversy. By highlighting inconsistencies and presenting archived materials side by side, she reframed the issue as documentation rather than opinion, accelerating the backlash.
I mean, everybody has seen that commercial. It clearly starts with, when I'm Meghan Markle, I'm 12 years old. So what is going on here? Why the secrecy around this woman's birth certificate? Why the mistakes in age that are so blatant for others?
The focus widened from a single story to an alleged long-term pattern, controlling the narrative, polishing the image, and erasing contradictions. Each revelation made the authenticity Meghan promoted feel increasingly manufactured. As more content resurfaced, the perception solidified that this wasn't reinvention, but revision. Every edit, deletion, and omission appeared to serve a single goal: maintaining a flawless public persona.
Her childhood was with me.
There's nothing original here.
I hope you're having the best birthday you've ever had. Thank you for everything.
which is really such a...
The criticism sharpened around intent. The issue was no longer whether details were wrong, but whether emotional moments were being engineered to produce sympathy and applause. Observers began to describe the behavior as compulsive performance, where vulnerability became choreography and authenticity was filtered through branding strategy rather than lived experience.
This is a copy of 17 magazine, and it was published in March of 1997. In it, it mentions our Megzy is from Los Angeles and that she was 21 years old at the time of publication. That would make her birth year at around 1976.
Once the story exploded online, the narrative slipped out of Meghan's control. Old interviews were dissected, timelines cross-checked, and credibility questioned on a scale she could no longer manage. As scrutiny intensified, Prince Harry was pulled into the fallout. His silence drew attention, raising questions about unity, loyalty, and how much longer he could defend shifting narratives. What followed was full-scale media saturation. Commentary debated whether the moment was a misstep or a calculated move, while public fatigue became increasingly evident.
What if Meghan Markle was adopted? What if there more to her birth than just her age? Could it be that she doesn't know her own age because she's been lied to by her father and mother? Could it be that's why Doria doesn't have a bond with Meghan Markle? Because what mother leaves her daughter when she's 3 or 4 years?
By the end, this so-called authentic comeback had inverted itself. The story that was meant to restore trust instead magnified doubt, leaving Meghan's carefully built image visibly unstable. The fallout wasn't just personal, it was strategic. A brand built on relatability now faced widespread skepticism, and this time, even seasoned allies struggled to control the damage. What comes next, many believe, could be even more destabilizing.